As young people, it can be hard, maybe even impossible, to grasp exactly how long this life is. We don't really achieve self awareness or consciousness of our life and death until we're probably teenagers at earliest. It wasn't until I was about 18 that I really started to think about how long this life is and what path I wanted to be on and how I wanted to really use all of those years. That was 6 years ago. 6 years. And statistically, I've got at least 10 times more of that. 6 years ago, I was just starting college. I hadn't met most of the friends that are in my life now. I hadn't seen much of the US or the world, hadn't traveled nearly as much as I have now. I didn't know what my college path was going to look like, let alone my career path. I had only just met my wife and we weren't even dating yet. There was so much I didn't know just 6 years ago. The amount I've grown over those 6 years is staggering. I've found an inner peace and confidence, held several jobs that have taught me invaluable things about myself, really dove into the craft of videography and made some things I'm proud of, gained a college education, and so much more. It's crazy to think about how much has happened over these 6 years. But moreover, it's crazy to think about how long they feel. Memories from 6 years ago are already starting to fade. I don't remember things from my freshman year of college nearly as vividly as I used to. That person that I was 6 years ago seems like a completely different person. It seems like me so long ago. 6 years feels long, so I can't even imagine what the rest of my life is going to feel like. It's going to feel so much longer than just these past 6 years since I've really achieved consciousness. So why do I keep acting like life is short? Here's what I mean. Even if I mentally try to tell myself that life is long, a lot of the actions that I actually take dictate that I believe life is short. For example, I put a lot of pressure on myself to achieve financial stability at ages 23 or 24, when I'm just really early in my career, just starting out in my first full-time professional job. I feel like I kind of have to achieve a level of financial stability. I have to know, what investments are good investments to make and just how to kind of achieve financial stability that will last for the rest of my life. But the truth is there's a lot to learn, and putting pressure on myself to be at that point 2 years into my career just doesn't make sense. Life is long, but I'm acting like it's short. And in general, I've always kind of had this problem of, acting like I needed to be more accomplished or farther along than I was. When I was in high school watching the Olympics, I felt like I was so far behind if these people who were my age or even younger were winning gold medals on the biggest stage in the world. And in college, as I saw people chase internships or job opportunities, I felt like I was behind, like I wasn't doing enough. But the truth is that good things just take time. A year ago, I was making YouTube videos that looked like this. And now I make YouTube videos that look like, this. And when I look back at that year, it's been long. Looking at my face a year ago, I feel like I've grown so much since then, and that's only 1 year. And I think that mindset of compound slow growth is much healthier than trying to achieve something great on any specific deadline. When I feel pressure on myself watching the Olympics or looking at an entrepreneur on the Forbes 30 under 30 list, I try to take a step back and remind myself of some things. Getting successful by a certain age requires a certain amount of luck. Most of us weren't born into families that had the means, the opportunities, and the determination to start training us for the Olympics at a young age. I doubt many of us at 8 years old would have had the grit and determination to just go train for a sport 6 hours a day without being pushed by their parents or their circumstances. Or a lot of these companies that are multi-million-dollar companies, when the founders are really young, you look at the investments and they've got an investment from their parents or from a relative, a big substantial investment. And you realize that it's not just about achievement by a certain age. A lot of times it's about luck. So if you're not lucky enough to have those things, then being successful, being in a career where you can really make a meaningful impact on your community or the world, being able to really make a difference and have a career that feels meaningful, is a lot about your own grit and determination. And it takes years and years of hard work, thousands of hours of work to really pay off. Again, if you want to be better than average at anything you do, you have to work more than the average person. So just putting in the time year after year is the only way to really get there. So stop judging yourself for not feeling like you've done enough. In my experience, your early 20s and probably well beyond your early 20s, but I can only speak for up to the early 20s, shouldn't be focused on achievement at all. The early 20s should be focused on exploration, trying different crafts, different hobbies, different careers, figuring out what it is you actually really love to do. If it's something that you're going to put thousands and thousands of hours in, you need to figure out exactly what it is that you want to do, how you want to live your life. And part of that is realizing that, maybe a certain career or a certain level of achievement isn't what you actually want. When I was in college, I followed a lot of entrepreneurs and personal finance managers, and I thought I wanted to be an entrepreneur, to start my own business. And I tried a lot of different avenues for that. I tried drop shipping, I tried reselling sneakers, I tried a few different business models, and ultimately I never stuck through with them. It wasn't for a lack of success, but it was for a lack of trying. I would get excited, I would try it, I would make a little money, but then, I wasn't seeing the success I wanted, and so I'd give up. That just showed me that I'm not cut out to be an entrepreneur. That's all that showed me. And so, trying to force myself to fit that idea of achievement just didn't work for me. So maybe your level of achievement isn't going to be something that changes the world. That's okay. Maybe what you'll figure out from trying different things is that you just like to sit on the couch and play video games all day. So your goal should be to find a job that allows you to do that with the most free time possible. And that's a completely valid and meaningful experience because, ultimately we're all just human. We all have different desires. And as long as you've tried as much as you can and found the thing that makes you happy, whether it's some crazy level of achievement or something that you just do on your free time that you enjoy, it's all still a valid form of being human. Life is long. Try things, make mistakes, be human, find what you really love to do. Thanks for watching.